Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
Welcome to X and Y. I'm Siddhant.
And I am Dilnaz.
And today we're going to be talking about PDA.
Yes, public display of affection.
Dilnaz has a lot of other theories to what PDA might be called, but we'll get to that right at the end.
Well, PDA definition, acts of physical intimacy in the view of others.
Okay, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but what is physical intimacy?
Yeah.
Hugging?
Hugging's, I think, still okay because, it doesn't have to be
Any act of, sometimes even holding hands, hugging, kissing,
I think
anything
holding
sexual.
hands, kissing, that sort of thing, especially, with couples, is seen as public display of affection.
Yeah.
So why are we talking about this today? Yeah? It's a very good question why we're talking about this today. I asked it simply to see what Dilnaz would do, and she froze, predictably. It was fantastic. So we're talking about PDA today because in India, public displays of affection are generally frowned upon. And the problem with that is that it's difficult to have a relationship where you need to have a public persona that is ruled so tightly by the view of others and the rule of law. And have a private one, which is completely different. Now, keep in mind, everybody has a public and private life, but couples are policed far more than, say, a single individual would be because of PDA especially.
But what is, the acceptability level of PDA, like what is acceptable also varies, right? So it varies from country to country, it varies from culture to culture, from your sexual orientation, age group, race.
Yeah,
it does differ. Like what might be acceptable in a heterosexual relationship might not be acceptable in a homosexual relationship, or what might be acceptable for 21-year-olds might not be acceptable when a 50-year-old is doing the same PDA. Right?
Okay.
So that kind of acceptability also varies.
We'll put it into the Indian context here. The first thing is that there's no chance any kind of homosexual relationship will be allowed to be displayed publicly. And I think that's sort of the rule of law and the way society is set up as is. Everybody has been exposed to these kinds of things at one point or the other living in this country.
Absolutely.
The acceptability issue that we're talking about, how does that change from place to place? Is urban India seeing it differently from rural India? Which parts are seeing PDA to be more acceptable and less acceptable? These are very varied questions. We can't draw generalizations on any of this.
And it's become an issue lately.
It's become an
I think
issue.
In the past
that's
couple of years, it's become very big. This problem is blown out.
It's always been there, though, to be fair. It's always been something that's been discussed or been frowned upon or people have been arrested for it or worse.
And wrongly sometimes. I'm not saying all the time it's wrong, but a lot of times it's been a wrong... Because of the law that is there, because of that section...
The law that we're talking about is section 294 of the Indian Penal Code, which has to do with obscenity.
It says causing annoyance to others through obscene acts in quotes is a criminal offence.
Yeah.
But hello, who defines this obscene act? It's so vague.
Exactly.
And it's been misused all the time.
Exactly. As things stand, I don't think India has the political will to change this law. And that is a problem that we are facing right now. And you can see that in so many ways, cases, forms. There's always something about, in Mumbai at least, there's always something about couples sitting by the beach, holding hands, getting harassed by the cops.
Yeah.
That is another section of the Mumbai Police Act. It was called Section 110. It was another very vague law, which I won't bother to recite, but it was extremely archaic. And because of all the trouble, harassment, sort of pettiness of this law, very recently, I think last year in August, the chief of police asked his officers to sort of step off this law and not use it to bother couples.
Yeah.
I think that was a great step forward because so that's one area that's the one shining sort of light in this area that has gone well.
Yeah, but section 110 is gone, but the section 294 is still there.
Yeah.
Like remember last year or I think last year when the couples were caught at that Mud Island hotel, and they were, they were just taken.
And here's the thing: the thing with those couples, were they were married couples or they were in their hotel rooms not bothering anybody.
Public.
So it's not a public display
but they were
of
still
affection.
caught under that.
No, they weren't caught under that. Some of them were caught under that. Some of them were booked for prostitution, which is even crazier. How can your wife be a prostitute for you, or you be a prostitute? It's ridiculous. So the heavy, firm hand of the law tends to come down very hard on people.
But I think because of the uproar that caused, I think there was a issue. There was a notice sent out to cops, which said that you cannot now. Even in cars, right?
Yeah,
the cops cannot harass couples who are doing whatever they want in their own private cars. But still, it's not happening. Like it's not been.
I mean, okay.
Enforced.
So here's the thing. I think there was a Mirror midday. Sort of.
Yeah,
I would say they tried to
expose
see
kind of sting.
They just tried to see with how they would be in certain situations in the city, sitting in a car as a couple, whether the cops would bother them or not. And they got a lot of pushback for that. There was a lot of harassment.
Yeah, I read that article. In fact, the two journalists who were posing as couples in various areas, they said that we were just sitting in our car. I read the article and said they were sitting in their car and talking.
Exactly.
And the cops obviously came, and the funda that the cops initially started with was, we are here to protect you.
Exactly.
And then in the end they took a bribe, and because the couple was scared, they said, no, we'll call your parents, we'll do that. There was a whole expose on that, and it was shocking to read it, that in spite of this circular being sent out to the police, it's still not been enforced.
I think it's a very sort of fickle thing. It depends on the police officer, the place you're at, and that's something that there's no uniformity in this, which is what makes it far worse. I think that if you feel that you can hold hands with somebody in this spot, but if you go to another spot in the city, or if you're anywhere in the country really, if you feel that you're safe being affectionate towards your partner in one place and then in another place you're not, that lack of uniformity tends to make you not want to do it at all. It's the fear, this unknown fear of being caught out, that is a really bad thing for any couple or any people in a relationship.
Some people are doing things.
It took some steps like this. The Valentine's Day harassments that happen every year, things like that.
What was that all about?
I can see some logic to it, that it's a completely manufactured holiday.
But that's a different logic. No, that's a different issue only then.
Yeah, but then if you have some ground to stand on, then you take advantage, right? Give him an inch, she'll take your arm sort of argument there. But I think the pushback from this was the entire Kiss of Love campaign.
That started in Kerala.
That is an extremely powerful way of protesting something.
Yeah, it was a public hugging and kissing campaign to protest this, as a rebellion against this moral policing.
They got as many couples as they could in Kochi, I think it was, right?
Yeah, it started in Kochi and then it spread to the other cities of Kerala. In fact, it's also spread to other states.
I think we seem to be on the same page here when we say public displays of affection are quite harmless, really, overall.
No, not really. Sometimes I really feel it gets... I've been on both sides, okay? I've also been a part of the doer. And I've also been the part of, the one who's watching it get done and is a bit uncomfortable. So I really feel that we need to use our own discretion. It's like I had this... I'm going to launch into a story.
I feel like we need trumpets or something for this.
No trumpets today.
Yeah.
So there's a friend, like a friend of mine and her boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful relationship. They've been seeing each other for like 4 or 5 years. But it's weird because he's 49 and she's 27.
Correct,
so for an onlooker, it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And they are completely PDA supporters, okay? We're sitting, we're chilling, we're at a bar. They will always launch into a kiss and all, and people are okay with that.
Yeah.
But once we were traveling, I was traveling with them in the Versova jetty. Okay, that little
Best
jetty,
place to
2-minute jetty.
really, yeah.
No, we were going to Mud Island.
See the sights,
No,
feel the sea air.
Actually, we were going to Mud Island to have some fried fish from some auntie who sells it on the road there.
Great.
So, besides the point.
Yeah.
So, we were traveling and I was looking one way, and when I turned the other, it was sunset time and beautiful and all.
Yeah.
I turned the other way, and both of them are going at it. They are smooching full on. Which in a pub or whatever, it would have been okay. But here there are these koli aunties, machiwalis, maids going back to their houses in mud, children. And that was uncomfortable. So I really feel, I'm a supporter, do it. But I really feel that you need to use your own discretion and figure out what is the time and place where it is okay to, and how much is okay, and how much is not.
Yeah.
So I think that middle level line is something that we need to kind of...
Okay, so while we try and figure out what that middle line is, I think we should just take a quick break.
Yes, very quick break, because I have many more stories to come back and narrate.
Did you know that some termites in Africa have a pleasantly minty flavor?
Did you know that India's largest music festival was in a way conceptualized in Estonia?
Did you know that the awesomest chips in the world are found only inside US prisons?
Hello, I'm Chuck.
I'm Srikit.
And I'm Naren.
And together we are
Simplified,
a podcast that helps you appear smarter to an audience that knows no different.
Or give you some stuff to talk about at parties.
We are ultra-crepidarians.
And if you don't know what that means,
Then tune into Simplified with a B on iTunes, Audioboom, or your favorite podcasting app. Episodes out every fortnight.
So getting back to PDA, and we're trying to sort of find a middle line here where it's a safe space. You have your own discretion. You can... I would like to say, you know what to do in certain places. Now, the story that you talked about earlier, on the jetty, in full public view, on public transportation, clearly these people were being a bit... They were going over the top.
Yeah, and I'm not a narrow-minded person.
No.
Yeah, I'm a completely open-minded, do what you want. If two people are at it, if you don't like it, look the other way.
Exactly,
I believe in that, but I thought
Everyone's
this was...
stuck on a boat with you, though.
Yeah, so you can't look the other way, you know.
Yeah.
But no, similarly, I remember having gone to Goa a couple of years back.
Yeah.
And I was on the beach, and it was off-season time. The beach was completely empty. There were all these beach chairs, and I was lying down and reading my book. And there was no one around. I couldn't see anyone around. And reading my book, in the middle of all of it, I hear grunting noises. And I'm wondering where that is coming from.
Probably a pig or something. It's Goa, so where did you get the pork
right.
from? Yeah.
And I look to my right, and there is this Firang couple going at it on a beach chair. Like, let's say 15 beach chairs. I mean, there was a huge distance, but I could still hear them.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to focus and read my book, and I hear,
And there was laughter. She was laughing at him.
No.
That is inconsiderate. He's going at you on a beach chair and you laugh at him.
Laughter was me laughing at my own story, okay? But I thought that was really inappropriate. And I was like, what should I do? How will they stop? I want to focus on my book.
I think we can agree here that you should be allowed to focus on your book. Which book was it?
That I'm not talking. It wasn't 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay. She should be allowed to read her perfectly shameful book in public and not have to deal with people having sex next to her. That is past the line.
I was actually thinking, I'm like, should I just go stand and stare at them so that they stop?
You know what? Maybe they'd like it. I don't know. Some people are no, hang on. Nobody suggested that. Okay, it's people are exhibitionists sometimes. Maybe that's why that was happening. But that's not.
Yeah,
okay.
again, that was not okay.
That's not okay at all.
I don't think I was being a narrow-minded Indian girl.
Yeah,
I don't think this would have been okay
that's
anywhere.
Not okay
else,
anywhere.
You know?
That's not cool at all. Okay, so you can't have sex in public.
Yeah.
I think we've established that. But you should be able to go and hold hands and maybe kiss once in a while.
I hold hands with my mother when I walk on the road, yeah.
But that's not PDA.
But I hold hands, right?
Yeah,
so if you're
exactly.
saying that, this should also not be allowed, then holding hands with my mother on the road should also not be allowed.
Exactly. So I think what it all really boils down to is also, okay, maybe the law is on your side on this in this instance, for instance. Like if holding hands is okay, but if people around you are going to get violent or angry or disgusted by it, you should really step off, because it's just better for you and better for everyone. There's no reason why you can't go ahead and do this on your own in another place. However,
But
that's another thing.
Yeah.
What if there's nowhere for you to go?
Exactly.
Like, this city is insane. Mumbai has like too many people. Everyone's living on top of everyone. You are in somebody else's business by mistake half the time. Like you don't know why, but you're standing in someone's shop, which might be a footpath, just a stall there. So where do couples go here?
And if you see, most of these couples who are actually engaged in PDA are married couples. They're not like people having random flings and,
even
college
if they
kids.
Even if they are,
it's okay. But a lot of them are married couples. Like if you see at Marine Drive or that reclamation stretch or... it's sad. It's actually sad.
It's sad that they have to resort to
this.
Like crazy
I'm sure
circumstances.
it's a forced PDA. I mean, it's not that they have a choice. It's not that they want to display their affection in public.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you live in a house with like 3 rooms and 10 people.
Exactly.
And where are you going to get the time or the place to do this?
Yeah, like a joint family, chacha, kaka, mama, papa, bacha. Like, where do you have sex? Where do you even kiss your...
That's the thing here. So then they resort to going to the beaches. They resort to waiting till it's really dark and sneaking into a public monument and having the
public monument, Sid?
Yeah.
Is there some experience on this?
I live next to Sion Fort, okay? And
Sion has a fort?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smashing, isn't it? Yeah. So the fort, I think people go up there at night when it's shut, jump the gates and then... get on with it. Where else are you going to hook up? I mean, we've already talked about being busted at a hotel for no reason. So, and that's with people who have the money and the inclination to do all this.
What if you don't have the money?
What if you don't? What
Auto
if you
rickshaws.
Okay.
Another super place. I'm telling you, really.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Cabs and auto rickshaws in Bombay are apparently just fair game.
Yeah, in fact, once this auto guy was narrating what happened to me.
Okay.
So I was sitting in his auto and... he started describing, there's this young college couple who came and sat on this auto. And he, of course, took it to another level and described in detail.
Small embellishments, I guess. Yeah.
He was describing in detail and that was really embarrassing for me to even listen to it. And he was most offended by it. But he was not offended describing it to me.
No.
That was not offensive.
Everyone reads Mills and Boon, right? So it's totally allowed. I have seen some funny things happening in the taxis though. I've seen people like watch porn together in a taxi once. That was insane. Like just a bunch of guys looking at a phone screen.
Oh, a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure if there was
Group
a girl
watching.
involved, group watching of the porn in a taxi. Great way to go, guys.
I wonder, would the cops, if they would be at a signal and a cop would see this, would the cops come and catch them and reprimand them?
Who can say? I really think that it is up to the police on that day to how they interpret laws, because that would fall under obscenity as well.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's
whether he's had a fight with his wife before he left, how good his mood is, whether his boss has been a little mean to him, whether he's had his cutting chai.
Yeah, well, we're at the mercy of the police, it seems, and at the mercy of the general public. So it's sad that people are forced to go to random places to make love or kiss or hold hands or whatever it is they have to do.
Because affection is necessary. I mean, I don't mean public display, but a physical level of affection is necessary for any relationship, right? It enhances the relationship.
Isn't it a major factor in being in a relationship? I think so, yeah. So, and a relationship is not just something that is physical, right? We've also got these people who we love to have like as our online friends and things like that, who provide a certain level of theatre that that you rarely see on TV these days.
Yeah, on social media.
Yeah, we're talking about those really amazing couples on social media who seem to share every facet of their private couple life.
That I'm completely against.
Yeah.
Like,
so does
it
that
just
count
gets
as
on my nerves.
how does that count as PDA? Let's go over that.
It is. It's public display of your affection on Facebook. Why is it necessary?
So, does it need
I
to
don't
be a
want to
photograph?
know.
No?
In any case, like maybe a photograph, or maybe just they exchange comments on each other's walls.
Like what?
Like
Come on. I know you've been saving these up.
Yeah, like there's this couple friend of mine who had put up their picture on Facebook. Oh, cute. And you've done a like. But because you've done a like, every comment that everybody makes, you get a notification, right?
Sure, yeah.
And more than anyone else talking, the two of them are having a conversation on that picture. Oh, baby, I'm coming back home in an hour. Oh, cutie, I made this for you. Oh, I'm waiting for you to come home. Have that conversation in private. I do not want to know.
Right.
I do not want to know, you know. Or like people who send these paragraphs about how lovely and beautiful my wife is. Like some 4 paragraphs on how much I love my wife, and it's all on Facebook.
Yeah, but don't you think that for some people to profess their undying love for their wife through poetry in a public place just shows how much they love their wife?
No, profess it once, profess it twice. Don't profess it 4 times a week.
So there you have it. No professing love for your significant other 4 times a week on Facebook. I think we can agree that that's a very relaxed law about public.
There should be a law. There is no law.
There should be a law.
You know, PDA on social media should have a law. I'm going to make my own law. Dilnaz's law.
Dilnaz's law of PDA and Facebook. Thou shalt not, I'm going biblical on this, thou shalt not profess love more than 4 times a week. If so, you will be stoned at dawn. Yeah.
No, but why do you think people... I mean, I'm not talking about just on social media, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think people engage in PDA? Like,
I think it's very
what does it
instinctual.
do? Is it a turn on?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's that calculated so many times. When you're with somebody you really care about, you are in a relationship with them, and you just suddenly want to like grab them or maybe give them a peck on the head.
And I guess you're not even realizing this is considered as PDA by some people, right?
Sometimes it's hard to put these small things down to sort of deliberate human behavior. Maybe she does something that you find amazing and then suddenly you just want to hug her.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very human emotion, which as suddenly you have to... It's like if you feel that there's rain falling, you just unfurl the umbrella. Like you don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's sort of just something you do.
Yeah, I don't think they're even aware that they are engaging in what people call PDA.
Yeah, but now, since we're in India, we have to really watch out for this. We can't have that sort of reflex action that a lot of other countries afford to lovers or to couples of any kind.
But sometimes I think it's also, some people also just want to mark their territory.
Sure.
You know, it's like, she's mine, so I'm going to show it by...
I think a lot of people do that when they're in a nightclub or something.
Yeah. And I think it's just insecurities coming out in form of PDA sometimes. You know, possessiveness, insecurities.
It could be.
Whether it's on social media or whether it's actually in person.
It could be, yeah.
And I think some guys are just showing off. She's so hot, she's my chick.
Yeah, but I think women do it a lot as well. Especially in sort of social situations. Because it's the same thing, right? If you put a room of 40 men and 40 women together, everyone's looking to get laid. Even the ones who are together are like, okay, this is mine, nobody come and talk to her or him, please.
But once I met an interesting, there's a friend of mine in college, this happened.
Okay.
Like there were a group of us, I think 8-9 of us, who went for a show, like a music show, and we were early, so we went there and we sat and all, and one of the chicks brought her boyfriend with her. And all of us knew him. It's not that we didn't know him. And there was a lot of space, okay? There was a lot of space. We were the first ones.
Okay.
And she invariably went and sat on his lap.
Sure.
And it's not that there were no chairs. It's not that it was crowded. But she went and sat on his lap and took his arms and put them around her.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why is she doing this? I knew another guy in the group liked her. So I was like, is she doing this just to make that guy jealous? Or what is it?
Yeah.
And then I asked her about it. You know, I was like, hello, what is it? I have never seen you in doing PDA earlier. What is it? She's like, no, I just wanted to boost my boyfriend's ego. I wanted him to feel special. And, you know, I wanted to massage his ego. And that's the reason I did that.
No, but here's the thing. Is that a trivial thing?
No, I mean, great. That's
relationships
sweet that she
require
did that,
don't they? You require to be given... I mean, people expect flowers and chocolate every now and then. It's not just like, okay, we're together now and the romance is dead. This is sort of how people spice things up once in a while.
Yeah, no, in fact, I found that great that she did that for that and not just, you know...
Yeah.
To make some random guy jealous. You know, I was like, great,
exactly.
if you want to do that,
Exactly.
I mean, I might not do that, but that doesn't mean you don't do that, you know.
Sure.
I mean, great, if that's what you wanted to do, that's the reason you did the, you know, PDA.
To make the other guy feel really uncomfortable and sort of back off.
Yeah, and to make her boyfriend feel special, you know, or whatever, you know.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I think discomfort and in having PDA done around you is another major, if not the biggest factor, I think.
But why are people uncomfortable? Why is there that discomfort?
I think you've already said it in various ways throughout this discussion so far. It could be that they're not in a relationship and they're unhappy. It could be that they are maybe interested in one of the two people in the relationship and they're upset that they're seeing that person.
It's bitter, jealous, and
and that's happening.
Or maybe they're not used to it. Like in their childhood, like a lot of families, they've not seen their parents. Like I know a lot of friends who've not even seen their parents kiss or hold hands or say I love you to each other. You know? So if that's what they've been brought up with, if that's what their childhood has been like, so all of a sudden when they're in the big bag world and they see people, kissing, for them it's really weird, because that's not what
Why wouldn't
they
it
think
be?
is the correct
Why
way to
wouldn't
be.
it be?
Yeah, exactly.
These laws haven't changed because there's nothing from the Indian community to actually change it, aside from the kiss of love protest or the sort of stray one-off arrangements that take place. I think society as a whole, where we are right now, is perfectly happy with there being no PDA because we don't want it because we're not used to it. I don't see that as a general opinion, but I think there's a majority there of people who would not want to see any of this go down. So we have to ask the question then, why are we trying to get people to acknowledge PDA and maybe go ahead and accept it, even if it makes them feel uncomfortable right now? And I think the real question to that is, again, we've covered it. It's a very natural human emotion that we seem to be stifling. We seem to be stopping each other from loving each other. And that's a really, really powerful thought when you think about it. That's what this fight really comes down to. So, would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with not being able to show affection to the person you really love?
No, I wouldn't be okay with it. I don't need a law. I need people to trust my discretion that I'm not going to go over the board and it's not like I'm going to make out with him in public.
Yeah.
But I want the freedom to be able to, if he does something sweet, I want to be able to just kiss him or hug him or hold his hands and walk. I like holding hands. I love holding hands.
I mean, who doesn't?
So I want that freedom to be
Except
able to
for
do
people
that.
with sweaty hands.
Yeah.
You've been there, right? I've been there. It's never fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that drawing that middle line and is the most important, I think.
So, yeah, I mean, that's why PDA matters. That's why it's something worth discussing, because anything that stops people from expressing themselves in a natural...
Yeah, it's curbing them, yeah.
Yeah, anything that curbs a couple from doing what seems like very logically what they should be doing is something we should talk about.
And some people will do it just as a rebellion,
Yeah.
Like, we have so many rebels. Like, just because you can't do it, I'm going to do it now. There.
Yeah, well,
so
that's a totally different topic, but in a way it's true. To show that you don't believe in these laws or these
Rules
mores
and-
that are being
yeah.
put upon us by society. You just want to stick it to the man or, flip everyone off by doing something provocative. It's a really, really big thing. And it's something you see strong, powerful personalities doing. Which brings us to a very interesting point that, like everything in a society, the celebrities and the influential people, the visible public figures,
Should they be doing? I mean, is it okay if they do it?
Is a question, yes. But you regularly see them being punished, censured for doing anything of the sort.
A lot of, especially in India, yeah. We've had
Yeah.
so many examples.
Yeah.
Remember in that 2007 when Richard Gere and Shilpa Shetty fiasco had happened?
Yeah.
It was for an AIDS awareness program. On stage, he just, I think, did a dip and then, kissed her, like, pecked her or something.
Yeah.
And there was a warrant against Richard Gere.
Yeah,
Like,
but
people
then-
were up and screaming in uproar against what he did.
Yeah, but look at the context here. I think he was it's sort of what actors do, right? On screen, when they do it, we accept it as some sort of art form, play, sort of story. And that's okay, it's not real.
Because they're characters doing it. Here it was actually...
Yeah, it's actually
The
being
person,
done,
the
but
human.
is it not acting? I mean, you're a stage actor, right? So if people kiss in the theatre, on stage, in a play, isn't that PDA?
That's not, because when you're on stage, there is a fourth wall. So there is, I mean, for you as an actor,
So
there is no
the
public,
same
right?
rules apply to movies,
you are in your
right?
living room.
Same rules apply as they do to movies, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
But that also people get uncomfortable about. If you're sitting at home with your grandfather and you're watching a kissing scene,
Yeah.
any display of affection seems to be, forget a public display, then to any display of affection is a no-no, you know.
Yeah, but then you look at it in the context here again. I'm not entirely certain what his motivation was to do it, but I think he was just kidding. Like, he was doing something to just be like Richard Gere, charming, entertaining, suave.
Yeah, I don't think it was even an affection.
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was.
thing.
It was more like a haha. Look at this! I just dipped her and kissed her. Ooh, everyone cheer.
Yeah.
And I think at first people probably did that. I don't remember this video that distinctly, but I don't remember there being complete uproar right from the get go. It later turned into this.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because I think it really sank in because it was such a shocking thing. It really
The one
sank in.
peck was such
Yeah.
a shocking thing.
Well, I mean,
There was a
this,
warrant against, I mean, for him, I mean, it was crazy, yeah?
Yeah, it was booked under 294 only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but because some people genuinely believe that celebrities or public figures are role models, you know, so if they're role models for children and people, they should really be more cautious of what they do.
I think that's a universal trait that celebrities are sort of held
Yeah,
up
but at
to.
the same time, I feel they're human, yeah? If you and I and, you know, want to hold our partner's hand in public or hug our partner or kiss our partner in public, why should a celebrity not get that same freedom? Just because he's a celebrity or she's a celebrity, that means there's certain I understand there are certain things, certain levels of freedom that you have to let go, but why? Because then we say that these celebrities are so secretive, they don't talk about their relationships, they don't talk about their public lives.
I
And
think
when they do
again, that's
something
a-
like that, they're okay with it.
That's the thing again. We expect their private lives to be public so that we can be a part of it. Is that public display of affection against them? It's tough to say. But what is really generally interesting about all of this is they're not beyond trial by media here. Because whatever would happen to a regular couple, if they did the same thing that a celebrity couple would do, it would be problematic. It would get them into trouble. Maybe they wouldn't be fined or put in jail or something. Maybe they just get taken to court. But what would definitely happen is that their reputation take a big hit because of what you said about them. They're supposed to be role models, people who are in the public eye and should know better. And that's a really strong statement again.
But then I feel it's a moral issue that we are talking about, right? That
This is a moral issue. If you really think about it, this is a moral issue.
like some people might think kissing is wrong, some people might think kissing is completely okay. So
Yeah.
for the section of people who think that kissing is wrong, if a celebrity does land up kissing, they'll think that it's wrong because you're a role model and a role model should not kiss. Well, hello, how are babies made?
Yeah, well,
You know?
not by kissing. though.
Like, like how regressive are we going to be and how progressive are we going to be, you know?
Well, that's us as a society, isn't it? So let's just take a bit of a breather here.
Let's
get back to this in a bit.
Okay, let's have a break.
Hey guys, this is Malika Singhania, co-founder of the blog Stylogram, where we cover trends, fashion forecasts, celebrity style, tips and tricks, and lots more cool stuff. So tune in every Thursday to the Stylogram podcast, your weekly style telegram, giving you the latest fashion and beauty stories that are relevant to you. You can also subscribe to our show on iTunes, SoundCloud, Audio Boom, or any of your favorite podcast apps. See you soon.
We're back. So PDA in India, contentious, difficult. Even the elite are not beyond reproach. But what about the other countries, the ones that we tend to look at and go, wow, look at how progressive they are. And wow, how regressive they are.
Yeah, and it really depends. Like if you see our Western countries, like USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK.
Yeah.
For them, it is common to see people holding hands, people kissing, even people grinding at nightclubs is all okay.
Yeah.
But I think what is not okay, not socially okay, is explicit engaging in sexual activities.
Yeah.
Right? Which is
Yeah.
really
I
progressive.
think that's with everybody, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Around the world.
So I spent a lot of time in Europe when I was studying there. And they have a very different view of even public display of the body than, say, any Anglo-Saxon country. So the ones that you mentioned specifically, the US, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, they tend to be okay with public displays of affection, and they are fine with that. But they have a problem with nudity, for instance. Whereas if you go to Western Europe or Northern Europe, really Germany, Holland, Denmark, like these are all places that I've been to, stayed in. It's perfectly acceptable to suntan on the beach naked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for both, like men and women. And they don't have to have like a nude beach or
Any beach you can.
Yeah, it's family beaches and everything. So because they start educating children very early on in their educational systems about the body and things and sex and sexuality, what is reproduction, sex, everything. All that comes in much earlier. So their laws and their rules are, even the body is fine. Whereas in the US, for instance, I think it's called public indecency. That's what you would get arrested for being naked in public in, say, a beach or something.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying in Europe you can walk around on the train naked, okay? There are certain public areas which they consider okay to be naked in public because they don't sexualize the body the same way. So a naked body does not mean equate sex in these countries. That's a very important distinction. And it's not just the progressive countries that have very different interpretations of public displays of affection, right? I mean, closer to home, we've got some really strange ones.
Like in China, I was just reading that earlier there was a rule that two people of the opposite sex they have to have a minimum 3-foot distance between them. But of course, China's overcrowded and that's just not possible now.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But in China, it's again like India, children rarely watch their parents say, I love you, or hold hands, or kiss.
Yeah.
But you know what I found? I read something very interesting. There is this Manchu minority ethnic group.
Okay.
They call them Manchus. And there, instead of kissing, what the mothers do to show affection for their male children is they perform fellatio on their male babies.
I don't even understand how that's possible.
Fellatio is, should I explain what it is?
Yeah, go for it.
It's placing the penis in their mouths and stimulating it. So the Manchu tribe regarded public kissing with revulsion.
Okay.
But the mothers doing this for their male babies is okay. I was shocked. I read this on Wikipedia and I was like, wow. Now, I don't know whether that is progressive or whether that is regressive. That's
exactly what we mean here. It can be anything. That is bizarre. That's like a lot of people come to India and ask why are guys holding hands.
Yeah, is that progressive or is that regressive?
My theory is, since homosexuality is so out of the picture, that straight males just it doesn't appear to their minds that holding hands with another man is it's so out of the question.
Yeah.
That even the gayest thing can't be gay. Because there's no such thing, right? Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah. And in fact, even in the Middle East too is a complete no-no. There was an article I read about, there was this unmarried Indian couple.
Right.
And they were in a taxi and they were hugging and kissing in a taxi. The taxi driver drove them straight to the police station. And they were sentenced to 1 year imprisonment.
Now
an unmarried Indian couple. They were tourists.
That is a boner killer right there.
That is a complete... Yeah.
One minute you're headed to the hotel, next minute you're headed to prison. It's crazy. Saudi Arabia. Visit Saudi Arabia.
Really, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, any, strong Islamic population.
Yeah.
And worse, forget public display of affection. I read an article a couple of months back saying that a woman can't cut a cucumber or a banana or any fruit or vegetable which is like a phallic symbol on her own. It has to be only under the guidance or under the observation of a male, preferably her husband. I was shocked.
See, that's just counterintuitive to me. Because as a guy, why would you want to look at a girl cut up something that's phallic in nature?
But can you imagine a woman is going to the...
Why would you want that to happen in front of you? In fact, it should be a law that they do this not in your presence. I don't want to see her cut the phallic symbol. I will be in the living room watching TV. I think that is a better law and I would be comfortable with that.
Like you can't have salad, sorry.
Yeah.
Because it includes carrots, cucumbers and all symbols which resemble, It's anyway, so yeah, it's different from different countries. I think PDA acceptability also varies depending on where you are, in which part of the world you are.
I think we have time really quick for Dilnaz's wonderful acronyms.
Yeah, this is something I thought about. Thanks, Sid, for letting me do it. So, PDA is, we look at it as public display of affection, but it has lots of other meanings, yeah.
Like what?
Like there's the obvious, the personal digital assistant, which is like a small little computer.
Yeah.
It is also pretty damn accurate. Or Dilnaz is I can say I'm a PDA. I'm pretty damn awesome.
Of course, Dilnaz will say that.
Also, PDA is please do again.
Wow. There are so many ways to use that. Yeah.
No, but in Britain,
Okay.
I looked it up. In Britain, there's this support group for parents of children with dyslexia. So it's
Okay.
called Parents Against Dyslexia.
Yeah.
It should ideally be PAD, but the dyslexia, it's
That-
PDA.
yeah.
You got it, Sid.
If you're explaining a joke, you're losing, okay? You're losing if you're explaining.
No, but PDA is also public display of athleticism.
Nice.
When an athlete makes a move in public and all of that.
That's athletic right
Then,
there.
public disturbance agency.
Do you have one of those?
I don't know.
That just seems like a random thing somebody
Or
came up
people
with.
dicking around.
I can get behind that.
Public display of awesomeness.
Yeah.
Public display of art, anger. I can go on.
I think
Stop me.
I think I'm going to
End
do
of
that
the
right
show.
now. I think this is the end of the show. If you have anything that you want to add to this discussion about PDAs, please email us. Let us know what you think. We will put up some links to what we've read and consulted to bring you this information today. And yeah, we'll catch you soon.
Yeah, thank you. It was fun talking about PDA.
You can find X and Y on iTunes, Audioboom, YouTube, Stitcher, or any podcasting app that you like. If you're trying to find us on iTunes India, you might have some trouble finding us because of the language used on the show. So make sure you change your location before finding us on iTunes.
Hey man, just help me out, man. I need some podcast, man. I haven't had a fix in a week. Just need some.
Don't you worry about it. I got podcasts galore for you, man. Just go to ivmpodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna check it out.